Hi, Michelle here. In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and show you my entire lacunosa collection. These are Hoyas I've had, some from almost the very beginning of my Hoya collecting days back in 2019. So I will tell you that even though some of these are pretty old, you're not going to see that some of them are very large. And I'll go ahead and explain that to you and let you know the story or the backstory of some of these Hoyas. If you like today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That lets the word out to the YouTube universe or the plant YouTube universe that my channel exists and that there might be others out there that would like to see this other content. If you'd like to see similar content related to this, especially Hoya related content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do publish a lot of Hoya related content, but on the suggestion of some of my subscribers, I may be branching out and showing you some of my other plants. I still do mostly have Hoyas, but I do have some other plants as well, and they may be making surprise appearances on my channel in the coming weeks ahead. And if you would like to add your comments to this video, maybe add what lacunosas you have in your collection that you'd like to draw special attention to, please put it down in the comment section below. I do read and respond to all of my comments, so I will get back to you. Just be patient, and it may take me a day or two. So now let's go ahead and start with the Hoyas, or the lacunosas, I should say. And the first one I'm going to start with is one of my fairly new ones. I've had this one for about 6, 7, 8 months now. I'd have to look for sure. And that is the Lacunosa Leopard Skin. This is a Hoya I got when the leaves look like this, and I'm kind of in the sun, so I'm going to draw this back so you can see this. They had these leaves on it, and in my care, it started producing these darker splashed leaves. It is getting a lot of light. It's getting light from a T8 Barina light, but it does have more dark splashing in it, and it's really, really beautiful, especially something like this where it has definitely more green in it. Some people like the higher the splashing. I like it when it has a little bit of green pop still in it. That lets me see what the original leaf looked like. And as you can see it, these leaves down here, see if I can get it in the camera view, these leaves down here were definitely very small and definitely very variegated. So I think it's really changed a lot in the time I've had it. It has long leaves. It definitely has long leaves. It has very what is the word for that? There's a name for when these leaves kind of go out, like the incrustada leaves do that as well. So these are curved leaves. They're very beautiful. This Hoya grows pretty fast. I will say that this one kind of hit a stalling point, and I do believe that that is because it's in this small little pot. It's in a pot in my mixture, which is small orchiata bark, cocoa husk, tree fern fiber, and small perlite. So that's what's in it, but I do think that it is root bound and it needs to be potted into something larger so that it can keep expanding. But this is basically one stem that's been kind of looped around like this and kind of down and up. So I do need to get this on an actual hoop trellis or a U trellis so that we can see these leaves bigger and display more prominently. So this is my first Hoya Lacunosa, I should say, and this is the Leopard Skin. So like I said, I'm going to be mixing the more unusual with the more common. This one, whoops, and I just dropped a leaf. This one was sold to me as Lacunosa black leaves or Lacunosa black. The reason why it's sold to me as Lacunosa black is, see this leaf, these new leaves right here, they come in and they are very, very dark. They are black when they come in. This is a new growth point right here. And as you can see, the leaves are still pretty dark. But you can see the new growth that it comes out, and it is pretty dark. As you can see, like I said, right here, these leaves are very dark. So it is kind of a misnomer. I do have Lacunosa blacks of other types that are more black. These leaves are very thin. They're not, as you can see, they're very thin and very lance-like, I think would be a good term for it. This Hoya does have peduncles on it. It has bloomed for me. This peduncle right here, if you see if I can put this right here. This peduncle right here has blooms on it that are budding up. It's got a brand new peduncle right here. If I can show that, see if I can, probably can't show it because it's sticking out, but it's got peduncles that are blooming, so it shows that it's healthy. It's got very long, it's definitely growing long. It does look like it may have had a bite or two from the mites. I'm going to show you the very base inside, and you can see that there are some woody at the stems, some woody damage, it looks like, that could be from mites. Normally that can be from mites, but it can also be from just the Hoya being of mature status. This is a more mature Hoya. So that is definitely a good size Hoya. I will see if I can get a picture of up here of what this looked like when I first got it. But it definitely has grown a lot since I've got it. It is right over here on my stand, and that's exactly where it's going as soon as I'm done holding this and talking about it. It is a real stormtrooper. So this is what was sold to me as Lacunosa black leaves. This is the first of my 3 inner variegated lacunosas. And this is the actual original inner variegated lacunosa. This is my original variegated lacunosa, and it has reverted at the end. As you can see, it's all green at the end. I did cut it back to whatever point I could. It's got this one stem right here where it's got a couple of nodes that are missing some leaves. I don't know what happened there. Sometimes I think these just grow in like that, or they'll grow in a couple of nodes with no leaves. And then what they'll do is once they grow, if they have something to kind of grab onto, they'll go ahead and fill in those spots. I have this kind of trailing right behind me over here naturally, so I need to go ahead and take care of that. I also need to go ahead and just kind of up pot this as well, because this is in a very small little pot that does need to be upsized a little. And I lost a baby leaf off of this pot, which is unfortunate. But this is my original lacunosa, and this has beautiful variegation on its own. Some of the leaves have less variegation and more green, but for the most part, this has quite a bit of yellow variegation. It is not as striking as some of the other inner variegated lacunosas, but it does have a beautiful variegated look to it, especially trailing down. It, you can just see the colors kind of swirling in. And the other neat thing about this inner variegated lacunosa is the backs of the leaves. If you can see, the backs of the leaves are very swirly and have a really beautiful variegated pattern to them too. So it is kind of like you get the fronts and the backs for, when you have this Hoya. I've had this Hoya for, maybe a year and a half. I'll have to correct myself at the bottom of the screen if I'm wrong, which I probably am. I'll show you what it looked like when I got it. It was pretty small, so it hasn't grown a great deal. Again, probably because I have it in too small of a pot to really grow much larger. So I'll have to put it in my plant chores, and we'll have to see what happens. So the next on my list is my inner variegated lacunosa. Okay, I know I just talked about, and I said that there are other more striking lacunosa blacks, and this would be the one I'm talking about. This is the Krohniana Super Silver Black, and I'm going to actually hold this side out. This is a silver Krohniana, but it does have the black in the leaves behind the silver. It is a very, very interesting Hoya to see that darkness behind there. You can see the splash in over here, but then you flip around here where it's exposed to less light. So I think that's really interesting how this has black and silver all in one. It is kind of a cross between the two most interesting parts of a Krohniana Black and a Krohniana Super Silver. I've had this Hoya for probably close to a year and a half. I'll have to put that on the screen. It's in a small trellis right now. I just recently re-trellised this because it was just kind of trailing all over the place. It is growing pretty well since the trellising. It's got quite a bit of new growth, as I can see here. This Hoya does like to grow pretty fast. It likes to stay a little damp. Krohnianas are known for that. They definitely like their feet to stay a little damp. Not like, wet all the time, but they do appreciate a self-watering pot if you have one. So I really enjoy seeing what the different exposures to light does to this Hoya. Like I said, up here, if you can see it, if I can get it out of the light, up here there is more silver, and over here there is more black. Hopefully the light will cooperate with me and we can see that. I think it's just a really beautiful lacunosa or Krohniana, and it's one you see a lot, but it's not one you see for sale a lot. Even though it's a pretty common Hoya, it's just not one you see people just, throwing up for sale all the time. And I don't really know why, because it's a common Hoya. It's easy to grow. It ships and propagates really well. So I'm not really for sure. I don't know if it's because it's not popular. I don't know if it's because not that many people are interested in it. Maybe it's just me. You let me know in the comment section. What do you think of the Krohniana Super Silver Black? I like it. Let me know. You know, we have to go for new and old here. And this is my regular lacunosa. The reason why I want to show my regular lacunosa as part of my collection is because this Hoya grows in my ambient room humidity conditions. It's always grown in ambient humidity conditions. I mean, we're talking, 8, 9, 10, 15%. And it's always given me great growth. I have it in a macrame hanger in a self-watering pot. Believe it or not, I've actually got this whole setup from Amazon. It came with the pot and the macrame hanger all in one. But what I do is I take this and I hang it up, and then every week or two I turn it around, and then I have this side pointing towards the sun. Then after a couple weeks I turn around and I have this side pointing towards the sun. So I kind of rotate that, and that's how I got all of these long stems to go ahead and grow. But what's interesting is you will see if I can grab this. These are very dark as well. So this isn't a krohniana black in any stretch of the imagination, but these leaves are very dark. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because this is just as regular of a lacunosa as you can get. I mean, I bought it from an individual. I bought it from kind of what's a big box store nursery here in Las Vegas. Our only one, pretty much. So I wanted to show you this because even the most usual Hoyas can give you a surprise, can be beautiful, can really add to your collection. This looks absolutely gorgeous hung up in the window up here. And I love it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Well, maybe if it was a super silver black, I would like that. But other than that, nothing. I really love it. It's just a regular krohniana and part of my lacunosa collection. This next Hoya seems to be pretty popular right now. This is the Lacunosa Laos. And this I got as a small cutting about, I'm going to say in October, maybe October. And it's really grown a lot since then. It's really interesting because the last few sets of leaves it's put on have had quite a bit of splashing. If you see a leaf like this right here, see on the end it has a lot of splashing, like a real big pitch of it, I guess you could say. They look almost like sigillatus leaves. It's like a cross between a sigillatus and a lacunosa. That's what I like. These leaves are thin. They are very long, elongated. Even for a lacunosa, they're pretty elongated. They feel very thick. The mature leaves feel very thick. The new leaves are thin. Or I should say maybe the ones that are a little more unusual shaped are thinner, along with the new leaves. But once they mature, they get pretty stiff. So that's, something to keep in mind, that this lacunosa does is it actually has pretty cardboard-like leaves. And as you can see, the leaves come out kind of a purplish tint when they first come out. See if you can see that. See if you can see that right here. So they come out kind of a purplish tint. And they sun stress, although I have them on my short shelf where the light is only about this far from them, and they don't sun stress. So that is interesting to me. And this is very, very, very dry. I don't know why this is so dry. I need to water this. This is intensely dry. And it has a dead leaf down there. Not good. So this is really popular right now. I have heard, especially locally, I heard that some people were able to get a pot of these from Home Depot. So that's pretty interesting. I was not. I got this as a small cutting in a trade. I chopped it up into 2 pieces, and now 1 piece is going this way and 1 piece is going this way. So I will say that this is a very, I love, like I said, how it looks like a cross between a lacunosa and a sigillatus. And sometimes I think that that's kind of how the best Hoyas are, when they look like they're a cross between other species. That always makes it a little more exciting. It's something different, something maybe a little bit on the experimental side. So this did get my attention when a good friend sent this to me in a plant trade. So I really appreciated that. I really like this plant. I can't wait for it to get bigger and for me to put it on something larger, a little bit larger trellis in a larger cup. It definitely needs a larger cup, and it definitely needs to be watered. So this is the next Hoya, or the next lacunosa. This is the Lacunosa Laos. I'm going to travel back for a moment because I have to show you my first krohniana. And my krohniana you're probably never going to see on this channel ever again, unless I do something really dramatic to it. This is my original krohniana. This was once a gigantic plant, but that was about a year ago. So I can't really say that, this was a huge plant, because that's been a very long time. And now all I do all day is pick dying things off of it. Like this. That's all I do. So unfortunately, this Hoya, the roots look good. If you can see I'm getting water all over me. The roots look good, and it's well rooted in here, but unfortunately, it got massively exposed to flat mites. And I will say massively. I will show you the base of this plant, and all you can see is not very nice damage by mites everywhere. The stems are all woody. There is mite damage you can see at the bases of leaves. There is stem damage, woody stems. Why do I still have this Hoya and it keeps dropping leaves? Why? Number one, this cutting right here. This cutting is healthy and it grew off of this Hoya. I am going to take that cutting. This Hoya did not grow anything healthy for, I don't know, 2 years. It is finally now starting to grow healthy leaves. Like this strand right here. You can see right here where my thumb is, that's where it started producing, going from right here. This is mite-eaten stem to good, healthy green stem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off that good part, and I'm going to propagate that good part. And what I'm hoping to do is to trim off. There are other pieces on this plant that have good plant material growing now. So I'm going to cut all that off, and then I'm going to throw away the rest of the plant, the damaged plant. My whole purpose was to keep this plant long enough to grow enough clean, healthy plant that I could establish a new plant and discard this old plant. For the longest time, I couldn't throw it away because it was one of my plants and it was still alive, and I couldn't throw away a plant that was still alive. And then I realized that there are really established growers out there that restart plants after so long. The plant becomes, leggy or not healthy, or it starts stuttering and it doesn't really grow well anymore. It kind of reaches a certain point, and then the pot gets, it might get root rot, or it just stagnates and it doesn't grow anymore. And then they take cuttings and they throw away the main plant and they start all over again. And after I found that out, that was kind of a revelation to me, because I didn't really ever think that you could take cuttings from the plant and then throw the plant away and still be able to keep that plant going. It was like a light bulb went off, So that's what I'm doing with some of my plants, and that's what I'm doing with this. It's basically almost at the point now where I'm ready to take cuttings and throw it away. So, but this is, and this is why, because every time I touch this plant, leaves fall off. So I'm almost ready to go ahead and take my cuttings off this plant. Hopefully this will be the first and only time you see this in a video, but this is my original krohniana. This is kind of an unusual Hoya I have right here. This is the Lacunosa mint silver long leaves. And I say that it's interesting because I did not actually get to see the real reason for the name of the Hoya until I had it growing in my care for quite a while. And the reason why I'll say that is when I got this plant, it had these leaves on it right here. These leaves right here. This leaf that I'm holding, and this leaf right here. And as you notice, they are very thick. They are very thick leaves, but they are also very lacunosa, super silver looking leaves. So then I stuck this plant in high light, and it started growing all of these very, very nice, but very speckled silver leaves, very splashy leaves, very uniquely splashy leaves, but splashy leaves. And then it started pumping out the silver leaves. Now it's got this new stem that's producing pure silver leaves. So it's got a silver leaf right here, if you can see that. It's got a pure silver leaf right here. It's got almost a pure silver leaf right here. But look how long, if you can see it, look how long that silver leaf is. That is a huge long leaf, and it's pure silver. So that showed me, oh, that's what the Lacunosa mint silver long leaves is coming from. But the original leaves it came with are very, very thick. They're very, very succulent. They are like a teddy bear paw leaf from a succulent, if you're familiar with those. The new leaves it grew, these very, very speckled, almost like a pattern on fabric almost. I'm not sure, but I don't know where that comes from. But I really do enjoy this plant a lot, and I can't wait to see what it produces when it gets larger. This is in a very chunky mix, a lot of cocoa husk chunks, a lot of chunky perlite. So this one likes to stay wet but have a lot of air on its roots. So that is, I think, number 8. I have to put numbers on the bottom so I can keep track of what I'm doing. So that's number 8. That is the Lacunosa mint silver longleaves. This next one is my newest Lacunosa to the collection. It is also the second of the 3 intervariegated lacunosas. And this is the Lacunosa Souma. And I won't talk too much about it because I did just cover it in one of my last videos, if not my last video. And it is a very pretty intervariegated lacunosa. It's got very striking variegation. The variegation takes up most of the leaf. And an interesting thing is that the stem comes in a pink color and it fades to a yellow. So if I could show you that. So it comes in a pink and it fades to a yellow. So this Hoya I got in a Palm Street Live auction a couple of weeks ago. And I was really happy I got it. It is such a neat little Hoya. It's a little more subtle than the last one I'm going to show you. But it is a very, very, very beautiful variegation. I cannot wait for this to grow some more. I've only had this about 2 weeks. It's in a chunky mix that definitely needs to be watered right now. So these are going to get watered before they go back up. So this is the Lacunosa Souma. And the last Hoya I saved the best for last almost. This is the best intervariegated Hoya for last, definitely. And this is the Lacunosa Tricolor Bruno. I got some bits I have to trellis, but as you can see, this has beautifully bright, the inner variegation, just the variegation on this is so bright and so vivid. It does have a dark green, a mid green, and a light green. And the colors are very striking. They are very separated on the Hoya, so you can see the variegation a lot easier than you could see it, say, on the intervariegated, the regular intervariegated lacunosa. Let me take out that. It's got, looks like it got a little squished little leaf right here. But It's been growing pretty good for me. It's got this new stem right here that I have to curl around. Sorry about that, my camera battery went dead. So what I was saying is this has very definite variegation, and I am really excited, and I can't wait to see what this looks like as it gets larger. I can't wait to see. I want to put it on a larger trellis and see how that looks. This is my Lacunosa Tricolor Bruno. I hope you enjoyed me sharing my 10 lacunosas in my collection. Which one was your favorite? Do you have one that is your favorite from your collection that I don't have in mine? Probably you do. So if you do, share it in the comment section down below. I'd really love to hear your favorites because I always have room on my wish list for another lacunosa. I really appreciate you spending the time with me today to watch this video clear to the end. I know that there are so many other things that you could do with your time, so I really appreciate it that you chose it to spend with me. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks so much. Bye.